In a world where voices are often silenced and truth is buried under noise, one leader's words are cutting through with the force of a lightning bolt. Ibrahim Traoré's explosive message is not just reshaping Africa. It carries a warning and a call to action that Black America cannot afford to ignore. This is not just another speech. This is a movement, an awakening, and perhaps one of the most important signals for our people across the globe in this generation. Welcome back to Black Voice USA, the channel where we speak truth to power, uplift the voices of the unheard, and connect the global Black struggle. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and join a community that believes in justice, empowerment, and unity across borders. Today, we're diving into why Ibrahim Traoré's bold stance is shaking the world and how his message could ignite a transformation in Black America. When Ibrahim Traoré, the young leader of Burkina Faso, rose to power, many dismissed him as just another temporary figure in Africa's long history of political change. But what has set him apart is his courage to speak openly against imperialism, exploitation, and the structures that keep African nations dependent on foreign powers. He is not hiding behind diplomacy or soft words. He is calling out the system for what it is: unjust, exploitative, and unsustainable. His voice has resonated across Africa, inspiring a new generation that refuses to be silent. Yet the most surprising impact of his words may be felt thousands of miles away, in the heart of Black America. For decades, African Americans have wrestled with questions of identity, empowerment, and economic independence. From the civil rights movement to the Black Power era, the struggle has always been about more than just survival. It has been about self-determination. Traoré's words echo these same principles. When he speaks about Africa needing to control its own resources, to break free from foreign domination, and to build systems that truly serve the people, he's not just talking about Burkina Faso. He's talking about a global Black awakening. Think about it. In America, we constantly hear about economic disparities, systemic racism, and political manipulation. Traoré's message is a reminder that these struggles are not isolated. They are part of a global system designed to keep Black communities, whether in Africa or in America, at the bottom of the pyramid. His refusal to bow to foreign powers challenges Black Americans to ask, are we too comfortable with systems that don't serve us? Are we settling for symbolic victories while real power slips further away? This is where history becomes our greatest teacher. When France exploited African nations through colonization, they built entire economies on stolen resources. When America enslaved Africans and then locked their descendants into cycles of poverty, segregation, and discrimination, it was the same pattern. The names and methods are different, but the principle remains the same. Take from Black communities, enrich the powerful, and leave us fighting for scraps. Traoré's explosive rejection of French neo-colonial influence in Burkina Faso should sound familiar to anyone who knows the history of Black America. When Malcolm X warned that freedom would not be given but must be taken, when Martin Luther King Jr. spoke of the fierce urgency of now, they were pointing to the same reality that Traoré is addressing today. Oppressed people cannot wait for their oppressors to suddenly change. They must demand and create change themselves. This is where the connection becomes explosive. Black America has always looked to Africa for cultural identity, for inspiration, for a reminder of who we are. But now, Africa is sending something even more powerful back, a roadmap for resistance. Traoré's insistence on sovereignty, independence, and courage in the face of global powers challenges us here in America to ask hard questions. How much of our destiny is still in the hands of others, and what would it take to reclaim it? Let's be clear, Black America faces a different context. We are in one of the most powerful nations in the world, where the systems of oppression are more subtle but no less dangerous. From predatory lending to discriminatory housing policies, from mass incarceration to underfunded schools, the chains are often invisible but deeply felt. Traoré's example shows us that even in the face of overwhelming odds, leadership, unity, and courage can shift the balance. Imagine if Black America adopted the same uncompromising stance that Traoré is taking in Africa. Imagine demanding not just inclusion in existing structures, but building our own systems, our own schools, banks, media, and political platforms that answer to our communities and not to the powers that exploit us. Imagine the global solidarity that could emerge if Black people across the world, from Atlanta to Ouagadougou, began to see their struggles as connected, their victories as shared. Traoré's message also forces us to confront a painful truth. Too often, our community in America is distracted by consumerism, by political theater, by empty promises of representation that don't translate into real power. We celebrate when one of us makes it, but forget that true liberation means raising the collective, not just a chosen few. Traoré is reminding us that leadership is not about fame or wealth. It's about sacrifice, courage, and vision. And that's a lesson Black America desperately needs right now. But let's not sugarcoat it. Taking Traoré's message seriously would mean making some uncomfortable changes. It would mean rejecting narratives that tell us we can't succeed without the approval of others. It would mean challenging political leaders who profit off our struggles while offering little in return. It would mean investing in ourselves, building our own, and embracing the idea that our liberation will never come from the same system that profits from our oppression. This is not a new idea. Marcus Garvey spoke it a century ago when he called for economic independence and a return to African pride. Malcolm X said it when he urged us to think globally and connect with liberation struggles abroad. The Black Panthers lived it when they built community programs to feed, educate, and empower people directly. What Traoré represents is not just another leader, it's a continuation of a tradition that Black America has always known deep down. And let's talk about courage. Ibrahim Traoré is not just speaking these truths in a classroom or a rally. He's doing it as the head of state in a country under immense pressure from world powers. That level of courage is rare in today's political world, and it should challenge us here in America. Are we willing to risk comfort for the sake of freedom? Are we willing to stand firm when the pressure mounts? Are we ready to put action behind the slogans and hashtags? Now, you may be wondering, how exactly can Black America take inspiration from Traoré? It starts with knowledge. We must educate ourselves not just about our own history, but about global struggles. We need to understand how systems of exploitation connect across borders. Second, we must organize. Change will not come from individuals alone, but from collective power, communities that pool resources, build institutions, and hold leaders accountable. And third, we must embrace unity, even when it's difficult. Division has always been the weapon used against us, but unity has always been the answer. The timing of this message couldn't be more urgent. In America today, we see growing economic instability, political chaos, and social unrest. For Black America, this means that the old promises of just work harder or just wait your turn are crumbling before our eyes. Traoré's stance is a reminder that we don't have to wait. We can choose a different path. We can demand more, build more, and believe in more. And here's the deeper truth. When Black America rises, the world pays attention. Just as Traoré's words have electrified Africa and inspired solidarity across the continent, Black America's decision to embrace real empowerment could send shockwaves around the globe. We are not isolated. We are part of a global movement that is centuries in the making. The question is, will we answer the call? As we reflect on Traoré's explosive message, it's clear that this is not just about one leader or one country. It's about a global shift in consciousness. It's about oppressed people everywhere realizing that their liberation is in their own hands. For Black America, the choice is clear. We can continue to wait for a system that has never served us to suddenly transform, or we can take the lessons from leaders like Traoré and build our own future on our own terms. So, what will it be? Will we let this moment pass us by, or will we rise to meet it? Will we stay comfortable in a system designed to keep us down, or will we take the bold steps needed to lift ourselves up? The answers are not easy, but they are within our reach. And the first step is recognizing that our struggle is not isolated. It is connected to a global fight for freedom, justice, and dignity. Ibrahim Traoré's message is explosive because it forces us to confront the truth we already know but often avoid. No one is coming to save us. We must save ourselves. And when we do, when Black America finally embraces the courage, unity, and vision that leaders like Traoré are modeling, the impact will not just change our community, it could change the entire world. This is Black Voice USA. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this movement, and thank you for believing in a better future. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the conversations we have here are not just about today. They're about tomorrow and the generations to come. Together, let's keep pushing, keep building, and keep believing. The time is now.